Welcome, everyone, to the 8th episode of This Is For Me, Girl Seth podcast with Tarn and
Rempy, and it's already 8 episodes.
I know, I can't believe it. Can you?
No.
We
Freaking insane.
we are almost done with the first season because we had decided we're going to do 10 episode seasons. You know, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it fun, and have a variety of, topics. And I think we really did establish that this time, which I'm really impressed with us.
I know.
Yeah. And, we feel great to be back in our element, back in a routine because we dropped our first episode of 2024 earlier last week. And now, we're into our next one. And this one is particularly different. And why is that, Rempy?
Because this one is kind of like off the script for us, you could say. Like, there is no script.
Yeah, because typically what we do is when we have a topic, This is our legal disclaimer. Please note that we are not medical professionals or licensed psychologists/therapists. Thoughts, opinions, and comments made within each episode are solely our own. If you require serious medical or psychological help, please consult a professional, as we are just two girlies trying to support the sisterhood of the shit show of what it could be to be a Punjabi girl. Before we're actually recording an episode, we'll, be like, okay, what's the topic? What do we want to talk about? What's the tea? Right? And after that, we pretty much, get down to the topic and we both, write down notes, make talking points about what we really want to address and what we think is important to talk about, what we're feeling, what's the vibe. And it goes from there, and it makes just the whole recording process very smooth. But this time, there is no script. There is no topic at all. We are currently driving to Port Credit. If anybody knows, Port Credit is in Mississauga. It's around the Lakeshore area. Beautiful area. Probably not the greatest time to go right now with the snow, but there's great food places around there. And we were like, you know what? Let's do a drive-by talk.
Because why not? Why not just sit in a car with each other driving, and hopefully I won't have to swear at anybody driving stupid, but we're in Brampton.
We're still in Brampton, so there's always a possibility with all of that. But, one of the things that I think I would like to address is I think there was points in this week where me and Rempy were talking and we're like, you know what? Like, why is somebody being such a shitty person to us?
Yeah.
And then we get into our negative thoughts about that person. So, I guess we can start it off with, how do we get rid of that type of negative communication that's happening in our brain? How do we stop thinking about certain individuals who are really impacting us like that? I know we've talked about the mean girl topic, but I think this is more about how you can change your thoughts and your thinking towards from the negative towards the positive side. So any thoughts on that, Rempy?
So I think sometimes it could go like both ways. It could be like either it could be yourself who is perhaps in a negative situation, negative environment, or just situations have happened to you and that's why your outlook is that way. Or it could be the other person who is going through something shitty or whatever, and that's what's causing them to be the way they are. So I think the first step is even acknowledging or understanding that it happens and we all kind of have our days and etc. And it happened to me this week. Last week I was having a bad day, and that caused me at work to like spiral, and people were like, are you okay? And I was like, I literally said, I'm just having a day. I'm like, it has nothing to do with you, I'm having a day. Because I could be a little bit too direct sometimes, even though you are in human resources. You have to be very fluffy and nice to people. Yeah, I could be mean when I want to be, unfortunately, but it happens. So once you start addressing it, then automatically it's up to you if you're gonna you want to stay there. Sometimes circumstances don't allow us to change our mind or allow us to change our mind, what we're doing. But if you allow yourself to start, let me go watch something funny, let me go talk to somebody, let me go figure out, how I can just change in that moment, and just give yourself a little bit of a switch, then automatically you start to feel like a little better, or you're not so focused on that negative element or space or reaction from somebody or giving someone a reaction. So that's where I think I would start.
Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely valid. And, I like the point where you made that you addressed to those people that, hey, I am having a bad day. It has nothing to do with you. Sometimes I find people forget to make that note right? Because sometimes you'll just see somebody having such a bad day, and then they end up taking it out on you because they don't understand that, whatever they're feeling is not directed towards that particular individual. It may be, it may not be, but most of the time you already have a person in mind that is, making you feel that type of way. And then when you're talking to other people, it's just because it's so piled up in your brain that you just let it out. That is not okay. You are letting out this whole negative, side of yourself. And, that emotional abuse is just not okay. I'm totally against it. But yeah, other things that you had mentioned, that what my mind was going to is, you were being self-aware. You were trying to name your triggers. You were trying to problem solve at certain points, right? So one of the things that I do, that I try to do as often as I can when I am having a negative thought process, first of all, you should try to go through it on your own, in the sense, like, navigate it, right? Because if you're going to try to ignore it, you're going in denial. In my opinion, you're not really addressing it, because it's still going to be there. It's still going to be nagging. So try to, navigate it. It's okay to let it out, in the sense, in a positive way, even just by yourself, or thinking it through, right, in your mind. But I think is trying to figure out what purpose is it serving you. Like, is it, sometimes we start to think negatively before something happens.
Yeah.
And that's where you're like, why am I thinking about this when it hasn't even happened? It could be in a totally different situation that it occurs. Why am I doing this to myself? That's one, right? Another thing is, I find sometimes when we've dealt with a situation before that's similar, and it went into a negative way, or it impacted us in a negative way, we just go towards that thought. We're not thinking that it could actually change into positive this time, because it can have different people involved. It can have a different situation. But you just have to remember that, there is a way to change things into a positive for yourself, and it comes from you. You can't leave that on somebody else. You have to do it, right? So it's very easy. It's a lot more easier to think about the negative, because it comes a lot more quicker than to think about the positive.
Agreed.
So that's why people don't go towards the positive as easily, because they're like, oh, this is so hard. What am I going to gain the positive out of this, right? So you have to think about, what purpose is this serving you? Is this already happened? What is this doing for me, right? Is there something that's making me feel this way? What's the trigger? Is there something that this person said? Think about what your actions are going to lead towards that, right? So I think that's very, very important, because it's so easy for all of us to just, feel negative. It's just, the world's so negative in general, and that's why, it's so easy to just get influenced by it. So I find that if you can really try to take a positive turn into your thoughts, that would be an amazing, amazing outcome for you. Even if you can just take 1 or 2 points down out of the negative, even if it takes you a few days. It doesn't have to be in the exact moment. Like I said, feel it out, right? Don't go into denial. I used to know someone who would just be like, just, who cares? Just leave it. Why are you bothering with it? And at first I'm like, you know what? That's actually, I used to think that was great advice, quite honestly. I used to think it was great advice. And, that was where it was because that individual just really was so nonchalant, didn't address anything. And I realized they have a lot of unhealthy habits, and I did not want to gain those in my life. So if you're just going to ignore stuff, you're piling it on. You're not really doing anything to help it for yourself. So please do not take that advice, or think of it in a great way that I did for a little bit. It's not healthy at all, right? Healthy is the key word here. I find when we're doing all these episodes overall too, my mind goes to thinking about healthy things, healthy habits, healthy choices, right? Sometimes we are going to talk some shit too. Just, it is what it is. We're people. We're human beings. But I think it's very important to understand that we're just trying to be healthy people, healthy lifestyles, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, whatever you want to call it, all aspects, just well-rounded individuals. And like we've said in the last episode, we're not trying to harm anyone. We're just trying to, put out some positive stuff that we think is helpful, that's helped us, and go from there.
I think that one of the other things to notion is that whenever you're going through something, because sometimes you are going through situations and stuff, and it could maybe, like you mentioned, person just gets stuck in that mindset of negative, and it's okay, whatever, it's gonna happen. You sometimes have to go through those feelings and emotions in order to kind of let it pass. Because when you start holding it in, or when you start ignoring it to an extent, then it comes back to you tenfold worse later on. So acknowledging it is great. If you're going through it, it is great as well, because you need to go through the experiences and stuff. You can't just be ignorant to what you've gone through. But if you're allowing yourself to just be stuck there, then there's only yourself that can move forward from there and push yourself from that extent to move forward. So, essential self-work.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think another point that I think is important is when we're also dealing with certain situations like this, we may have people in our lives who are very emotionally dependent on us. We might be that individual who is the person who provides that, but never receives it.
Yep.
I can put a full hand up saying that's usually me. And it's okay. It can be shitty sometimes, quite honestly, but it's okay. It happens. It's just, you're just built in a different way, quite honestly. Like, we're just built differently, guys, in an emotional capacity. Some people like us can navigate our emotions a little bit easier than others and aren't as emotionally dependent. It is what it is. But if you need to let someone who's emotionally dependent on you and needs that from you at that time, a friend, a significant other, family, whatever it is, if they really need that from you at that time, but you're dealing with it, either give it a bit of time. And like, we have this tendency to respond quickly, right? You'll be like, okay, you see somebody saying something to you, like they're going through it, you may be like, okay, I'm going to respond to them right now. I'm going to text them back right now. Maybe give it 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe give it an hour. Yeah. Get through your mind first before you can take, because you might not be giving the greatest advice, or you might not be responding in the best way, and they might take it bad. It happens because you're not in the headspace, and they need to understand that you're not going to be happy-go-lucky 24/7 for them. Right? So it's just life. If they're not, every human being's not going to be at their 100% 24/7, right? So if you're going through that, maybe don't respond to them. Right? Give them not saying don't respond to them at all. I'm saying give it like an hour. Maybe you need like an hour to just chill it out, get it out of your system, whatever. If that helps and you're ready to respond, absolutely go for it. If you need more time, just be like, hey, I'm gonna respond. Just give me a second. I'm just flustered. Like express it. Express to them, hey, I just give me like a little bit. If it's not super, super urgent, where you can just wait on me, give me a minute, right? Be like, I'm here for you, but my mind's just not right there to comprehend what you're saying right now. If they can't understand that, then that's on them. But you have tried to tell them that, hey, you're there for them, but you just need a quick second. And I think that's okay. I think that's totally okay, because we never do that. You'll see TikToks all the time. Actually, I've seen them recently where you're bawling your eyes out, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna stop bawling my eyes out for a second because my bestie needs me. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes that happens, but like, if you are really going through it, and whoever that is, like, is texting you, again, it could be your friend, it could be your significant other, it could be your family. It happens, everyone's going through stuff. But if you really can't be there emotionally within that, like, next few hours, and you just need a little bit of a break, either just don't respond for a little bit, or if you find it's a little, just let them know. I don't think there's no harm in that, because you're a human being too, right? So that's just my take on that. But I think with this drive-by, we should make it a little bit more happier. I think we took it a little bit too seriously.
I can agree with that. I wasn't going to that angle, but somehow it ends up being that way. See, we're addressing that we're going into a negative spiral.
We were having a week. We were having a week. I definitely felt like there was one moment for me, and at least one moment for you, Rimpy, where we both texted each other like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah. Insane. Just like try to keep your spirits up, and the world was just like, no.
Yeah, the habit I have is not that I'm going to say this to the person, but I will tell the person who I'm venting to. I will talk so much shit in the funniest way, and everyone's just like dying laughing.
Oh,
like, I'll say the stupidest things, like it's not like making fun of them, but like I'll say some stuff. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
Watch out.
The sarcasm is real here from my end. I will just
like to say. See, that's not what it is for me. Unfortunately, I'm just sarcastic by nature. I can give like the stupidest remarks here and there, or I'll just like joke around people, and it'll be taken in the wrong way. So that's why I hold my tongue, because I'm like, I'm literally just joking 24/7, but people will take it a different way. So I'm like, you know what? I'm
That's just
just like
how
a
we
thingy
both are.
bear.
So if you get offended by stuff that we say, it's just
Not
we have
against you. We just like
we
that.
just have sarcastic personalities.
Yeah.
Like we talk a lot of shit through our sarcasm, and if you don't get it, then we just think you're dumb. No offense. This is how I see it, but yeah.
Anyways,
Anywho, so you know, we were like, you know, it's family day, long weekend. We should go eat. We haven't really had a sit down since last year.
shoot, that's so true.
Right? We haven't. We've been going through it.
What the? Yeah.
Yeah.
Since December beginning,
Oh,
or
yeah.
in February.
What did we do
time-
in December?
I don't know.
Oh, we did that whole, what was that place
It's with
called?
the kids. Everybody with the kids.
With the
Like,
kids.
I'm so old.
I love how you're like, with the kids.
Okay, so we did it with a bunch of our cousins, and yes, like me and Hubs were like probably were the oldest ones out of the group that went, but they're not kids, man. They're like maybe 5,
They're
6
at least,
or whatever.
well, one's
10,
probably like
10.
17.
Yeah, one's like 10 years younger. Yeah.
One's like 17, but everyone else is like 18 plus.
Still not kids. It's okay. But
Yeah.
anyways, for me, you're kids, right? I guess.
Oh, same
But
here.
I
I think they're kids too.
Yeah, but it's the way we're saying it. It sounds like they're like 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
no.
No.
We consider like 18-year-olds kids sometimes.
It's hard. No offense to the
Okay, I'm
18-year-old.
sorry. Sidetrack. There's a car passing by, and their license plate is so weird. Do you see what it says?
I don't know if it says too null.
Donati?
Oh, Donati.
Is it? Some people will in Brampton or Mississauga will have like license plates that are very creative. They'll have like a.
You gotta appreciate it though. Like I know sometimes, okay, there's some of them I see they're offensive. I get it, but some of them are very creative. I'm looking at them like, huh, like. To be at that level, to be this is nice. I guess we're going confident.
But
like to be driving around, no, but to be driving around and have like something that like represents you, because your vehicle license plate is like your first identification. If you have it specialized like that, that's what people perceive you, right? So like to have something like Besharab. Oh, there's one that I saw, Greeb. I keep seeing Greeb everywhere, man, and I'm sitting there going, Brava, like you have a car, like really green.
There's probably a Dodge Charger too, isn't it?
No, I don't know. There's a couple of them, and then it took on different variations of it. And I'm sitting there going, is there something I don't know about it? But I saw a couple of them saying Greeb. I'm like, bro, you got cars. Greeb can be whole game. Like, anyways, that's all.
Sorry, that was a side. Again, this is a nonchalant driving episode. So if we're going off topic because there technically isn't a topic, it is what it is, guys. We'll see how it goes. We may do more of these because you know what? One thing is we're going for lunch, so might as well kill some time on the drive there and record. Was kind of our thing to see how it goes. Yeah. But back to our December, the hangout that we did as all cousins. It was so much fun. I forgot what it was called. It was Activate. That's what it was called. Yeah, it was really engaging workout. Yeah. Super fun. We were
in competition because we're all like, okay,
there was 10 of us. Go. Okay, there's 10 of us.
Yeah.
Somehow I became a team captain, and so did our other cousin. Yeah. And then you're trying to choose people. Just create your teams, and then you're trying to sabotage the other team.
And then our teams got mixed up with each other at some point.
Because they're like, oh, we want to play games with you.
It was so funny.
And there's one point where I almost broke my glasses just because my cousin didn't look where he was freaking going.
Why didn't you wear contacts? You knew we were running around.
They were Marianne ka kaya mere muto na nag-easy. But yeah, that one,
clearly he almost broke them.
But it's different. Like I say, when we did the whole jet boating thing, like a year or two ago, we did jet boating, guys. It was so much fun.
We were rafting too, but you weren't there.
I was not there. Yeah. So when we did the jet boating, I definitely wore my contacts because they are my glasses.
So we went to Niagara Falls. And me and hubby had already gone there, I think the year before we went with these guys. And hubby didn't know. I surprised him with it because I was like, oh, let's go, take you out, whatever. And he enjoyed it. So then we saw these guys, like, hey, you guys want to go? They're like, yeah. And we get there and we're like, I think everyone kind of had the same reaction to it afterwards because it feels like you're going to fall out of the boat.
There's a point where it gives you a quick second breather and then it just
the water just comes at you.
It just comes at you. And I was just trying to cover my ears, my nose. I don't want it. Just a shit ton of water being stuck in there. It was so much fun, especially because we were front row.
Yeah.
We weren't like, second row, third. No,
Yeah.
we were front row and center.
Yeah.
With Gurtaj's GoPro. I couldn't even talk for a second, but yeah, GoPro. We had that, and it was so much fun. The fact that we had to sign a waiver, I think, scared my mother for life.
But we had to sign a waiver for Activate as well, though.
Oh, we did? Oh, yeah, we did.
Like,
That's kind of weird.
Anything.
Yeah.
No one takes liability for anything.
Yeah, that's
you know what
true.
I mean? Because, no offense, like, I can tell you this personally, the stupidest things will happen, and they will blame everything else, right? Like, I fell at work, right? So I fell in the parking lot because I didn't see the ice. And I'm walking to my car with such confidence. Boom!
Oh, I've done that before.
Yeah, but I technically could have been like, you could have gone on workers' compensation because, I fell there, blah, blah, blah. So come there, you could fall for like a little thing and be like, so these places you can actually get hurt and it could happen, right?
Yeah.
Like, I went to, that jumping place? I forgot what it's called now. Anyways, you go jump on the trampolines.
Okay.
I actually,
a trampoline park?
Yes. The way I landed there, I fucked up my knee. I don't know how or what. Clearly not flexible or whatever the hell it was. And this was years ago. I was younger. And the way I landed, I couldn't walk up and down the stairs.
Yikes.
But that's my fault.
Yeah, I once, a few years ago, when it was back when I was in university, when I used to have my part-time job on the weekends, I would mainly work on the weekends, and I was walking to the car, and I was slipping on the ice. But I balanced myself out and I felt so good. I'm like, okay, bikini. Mm-hmm. Next step, went straight onto my knees. Both knees, and I fell straight onto my knees, and the pain. Oh my goodness. And I got to work and I went to the bathroom to check my knees, and they were so bruised and fucked up. And I barely made it till lunchtime, and I'm like, I'm going home because mere gode dukh de. So I went home. So just, it happens here in Canada. There's black ice, there's slippery roads. You got to be careful. And especially in Ontario, we get all sorts of type of weather, and you just gotta go for it. But yeah, crazy how we're almost done with February. It's 2024.
No.
Insane. No. So much has happened. I just think about that. But, I'm starting to figure out what I want to do in the next couple of months.
Good.
And I think that's what everyone is probably doing too, trying to figure out what their spring, summer is looking like, looking forward to the better weather. So I think it'll be fun to do more cousin activities. And
better plan something again.
And better spirits. Me and her do more things one-on-one because it's just a lot easier than to get 10, 15 people together.
Oh my God.
Quite honestly. So difficult because men, I will say men, do not respond. You know who you are.
Our guy cousins, what it was, okay, so we were going to the Activate thingy. I'm going to speak from experience, right? And I made group chats and I was reaching out to them directly and stuff and whatever. And when they didn't answer, I reached out to them directly on the group chat. Nothing. The day before, we ended up going to one of their birthdays. And I'm like, yo, you going? Where? What? I'm like...
They're like, oh yeah, I saw it. I forgot to respond.
I'm like, we're going tomorrow. Oh no, I think it was the week after.
Yeah,
we're going next week, bro. Hello. He's like, okay. And then they're rushing to do it. And there was 3 of them. And we were dying.
Because also Gurtaj was right there giving them a dirty look. Because
he's the Jamai of the house. So it's bro, get your
shit together.
He'll call you out for it.
He'll call you out for it. So it was very funny. But yeah, because me and her are very similar. We're very organized. So if me and her are doing something, it's done deal, planned already. I honestly kind of give up. I kind of leave that. Rempi does take the reins there, but I cannot with these men.
No, I've learned with experience. What I usually always do is I reach out and I say, okay, I see who's available. I see who wants to.
These are the dates.
And here, let's go, right? And if you're not free, too bad. So sad. Whoever's available, I'm just gonna go with and have my fun. Because I think with experience over life, I've seen that when you sit around say, hey, you want to go there? Come, maybe. That's
you gotta make the effort to actually.
That's a no. It's a no. Whoever says yes to you will do it. But afterwards, you always know there's a couple of people that are not gonna go. This, that, whatever. So you gotta make the initiative.
Absolutely.
Go out, enjoy.
Absolutely. And this week is lovely because even though it's a Sunday here, we still have Monday off. Woohoo, which is great. Lots of people usually like to get together on long weekends, right? Because it's सारे ने छुट्टी हुंदी आ.
I think
all
that's
that.
the benefit. Like, although I know, like, let's say we were living in India, we'd be like celebrating all the Indian festivals, Punjabi Sikh festivals, and all that kind of stuff, which is great. I think it's a nice thing about here, and I think again, I know some. I think I've been around people who say a lot of negative things about here. Hence, I'm now like, trying to be more positive about it. Is that like these are the days you get to like actually see people, meet people. You actually have that time. Okay, we're free. Let's meet up. The initiative is on the families to hang out with each other, but it gives such a great opportunity to do that. Because like, okay, let's meet up, let's see each other, and I like that. Because otherwise, we're crazy busy.
Oh yeah, life gets so busy. Like I tell Reppy all the time, like this is my plan this time, this is my plan here. You know, I have these goals, particularly like let's say work wise, whatever. You know, you're just trying to do all sorts of stuff. And it's just nice. Everybody really does take an excuse to get together during the long weekends, which I think is lovely. And I'm sorry, but look how peaceful Port Credit is right now.
I know, but if you were to come here in the summer too, we came during the day, it was not that bad.
Yeah.
But normally it's like at nighttime it's crazy.
I think it's just
we came.
Yeah. No, I was just saying. I think it's just because it's like still early. It's 11:47 a.m.
It's chilly though. People don't come out when it snows. We came here once and we were across from a restaurant where a shooting happened the night before. I was
that's great. That's that bakery place. That's like super cute on the inside.
Rania's Cakes.
Yeah. Heard it's like super cute.
Okay, well, none of these reviews or anything is sponsored.
No, we're literally still driving and looking. But I will say we're going to Papa Gillespie's, if anybody has heard of that Italian place.
Oh, it's that small one down there.
Yeah, it's so good. I think it's just, I love pasta. I love pasta burger. I'm a carbs girl, all right? I love me some carbs. There is no shame in my game there. It is what it is. And it's a cute little place. And even like, let's say if they don't have seating inside, I've went with friends where they have like portable heaters in the outside and it's covered. Ooh. So it's like it's still you're not wondering how you like matajana kind of thing. So it's good in that stuff. And yeah, we actually brought everyone down to Port Credit after the wedding. I don't know if I ever spoke about that on any of the episodes yet.
No, you didn't.
Because some of my family was still here, and we're like, you know what, like let's take you guys out. And I don't think my mom's ever actually seen Port Credit that. So we showed her around. I'm like, look, like this is like like the whole like strip. There's lots of great places to eat, ice cream. Everybody got ice cream, even though my nanny like took you. He's like, Mary torna ho, and it's like and he still got her some ice cream.
You bring him to Wonderland. Okay, but or Niagara Falls. I'll just sit here. All the people walk around, but you get in the car and you come, but you just want to sit in one spot. I will never understand that.
I will never either, but you know what? That's just a story of like every grandparent.
Or even parent, my dad. You bring him anywhere now, he's like, okay, I'm just gonna chill here. You guys go. I'm like, bro, what's the point?
But alright guys, I think that's it for today's episode. We are almost at our destination. And we just wanted to give a quick shout out to you guys, give a feeler of how you guys feel about this type of driving around episode. And, it's family day long weekend, so spend some time with your family, spend some self-care time.
By yourself, man. Even if it just means sleeping, sleep, man.
Yes, please do, because we all are always sleep deprived.
Yeah, I know. I feel like half the time already I'm practicing for kids. I'm like, we don't even have any, but the way my sleep schedule has been the last couple of years, I'm like, I feel like I'm ready for it. I won't feel a difference when that time comes.
Not at all. You may actually get 1 extra hour of sleep.
Oh my god. Sorry.
I feel like you would get 1 extra hour of sleep.
That's possible. Even today I went to bed like at 2. I went to bed at 2 a.m. last night.
But you had guests over.
I did, but and I wasn't feeling tired though. But I don't know if it was me, it was the coke, or what it was. But I wasn't feeling tired. I woke up, I'm like, oh, not bad. But my legs are killing. Anyways, off topic.
But yeah, alright guys. Hope you guys have a great long weekend. Enjoy the upcoming week as well. Hopefully the weather is good and not too cold in Ontario and wherever else you are listening from, as we have listeners from all around, as we've noticed.
Yeah, holy crap. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for the love. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.